Hello from the Silo's decontamination room. Welcome back to Sibcraft, and today we are officially venturing outside of the silo. I'm particularly excited for today's episode because we are going to be making huge progress on our orchard level by putting in all of our custom trees, and we're going to be burying some bodies while we're at it. So let's get decontaminated. Oops, okay. A little aggressive. And make our way out of the silo. We need to gather a bunch of resources for these trees. So I wanted to do that in a beautiful backdrop. This is a little dead. So we're actually going to be gathering all of those resources in front of my brother's base. And you'll see why in just a moment. Coming out here out of this kind of bowl where the silo's at, this is my sister's barn. She is an artist, so there's a lot of really beautiful detail work that she does in all of her builds. This is one of her custom trees, and it's a little bit what my custom trees are based off of, just because the height is right, but they're not as pretty as that. So we're going to be heading over to my brother's build on the back of one of our prized donkeys. We were inspired by Etho and the current Hermitcraft season to breed up some really awesome donkeys. You can see we have their stats on there. I think we'll probably take this one. My brother's base is off in the distance. Oh, you can see a little bit of it there. But before we get there, I actually already did all of this resource gathering. This probably happens to a lot of content creators, especially beginners like me, but my computer updated to a new operating system, and I did not know that I needed to recheck all of my OBS settings, which I now do before every recording session to make sure everything is correct. But all of the footage of me gathering resources was extremely poor resolution. I mean, just unviewable. Luckily, I had the flashback footage, so that was okay. But we are recording the intro now, and the resource gathering is done. So without further ado, let's get our first look at my brother's base. With the rendering, that is so pretty. Our resource gathering was done right here. All right, with this beautiful backdrop, let's get to some tree chopping, shall we? So instead of chopping down a bunch of oak and birch trees, I decided to just clear the little forest that was right here next to the silo. I wonder what we could do with this area, this second bowl depression that is right next to the silo. Okay, now that we have all of the resources that we need, let's just put in an entire level of custom trees. Let's go.
guess that is enough.
No!
Where you at? Where you at?
Oh my god, you have no home bed. Yeah, I never have a home bed. All right, everyone, our custom trees are done on the orchard level, and I love the amount of life and greenery this brings to the whole silo. I just think that's really fun, and I really enjoyed this project. This was the first long time lapse I've done, and I broke it into a couple sessions, but yeah, I just really enjoyed it. There's still quite a bit of detail work to be done on some of the trees and around their stump trunks area. We've got some, darker soil maybe to indicate that they've been watered or something like that. We also added these lampposts in to add a little bit of light. You can see that there are still some areas that are too dark. We might have to add some glow lichen. How does that? Yeah. That kind of adds just enough light in these areas. So I'll go through and add a little bit more lighting, maybe some hidden candles, just to make sure that we don't have any mob spawning or anything like that. I also added these copper bulbs on the back wall, just to also, try to help with the lighting situation. But yeah, this was so much fun, and I just really love how it turned out. There's also going to be a path running through the trees. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Whoops. For the lore of having an orchard in the silo, but it adds just a really fun level of whimsy, and it feels very magical. So my sister was on the server, and she was helping with the path and the dirt, and she's, again, just really great with all of the detailing work. So she was working on that, and we were kind of working on that together while my brother was hanging around and trying to jump up and get into the trees and do mace drops on us and kill us. But that was a lot of fun to work on that together. And like I kind of hinted at the beginning of the episode, the orchard level, similar to the books and the TV show, is where the dead were buried so that they would decompose, and that's used as fertilizer to create fruit and all of that. So we have these graves. The plan is to kind of build these out more using armor stands, but right now the armor stand mod isn't working. So let's pop over to my creative world real quick so I can show you what these would ultimately look like. All right, we are here in my creative world with one of our silo graves in front of us. And my idea is, let's see here. The idea will be to just make the grave kind of stick out a little bit from the ground. So if we swap all of these to the head position, and then, oops, oh my gosh. Okay, things are devolving here. Okay, let's drop this down. Let's try negative 1.5. And then let's see. So we can't go down any further than negative 1.7. Let's scale up a little bit. but maybe not the whole way, so it kind of will look like a mound. I'm gonna go back down. Okay, and then we're gonna change this so they're gonna be next to each other. And then we're gonna put, for fun, we're gonna add a head. Okay. Actually, let's do it this direction. I don't think we need to scale it up, and it's gonna be looking up at us. And maybe like a little a little off. Okay, and then let's drop it down. Minus 1.7, I think. We're gonna bring it in here. I think we actually want yeah, okay. Ooh, is this the right one? Yeah. Okay, so this is the grave idea that we would have in the silo to show that there's kind of been a mound. And there's a little body and a little head poking out from there. So yeah, once we get the armor stand mod working again on the server, I will see if we can bring some sort of grave design into the game, at least with a little head poking out versus just sitting there. I think would be really fun. Okay, we're back. So now maybe that gives you kind of an idea of what these will look like with just these kind of decomposed heads poking their way out of the soil on just a couple of these. So I have the two graves here, you know, almost like fresh soil that the bodies were just buried in. And we've got some mushrooms growing around them, helping, you know, speed up the whole decomposition process. And we've got different types of bushes around here. And again, we'll kind of add more work there. And that brings us to this big empty open space right here. So I wanted to add another different custom tree, kind of a cherry / Japanese maple tree in this blank area behind me. Kind of to break up all of the green around the level. We'll have just this big, mostly pink tree going on. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a big spin, and now we have the tree. Here is our cherry tree. I like how it came out for the most part. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't all built, you know, in one direction. So we have these kind of branches coming off like this, and I think it looks pretty full from all different angles. This one was a lot, I don't know, trickier for me to make in my mind. But we've got some candles and different things in there for lighting. And we've got just this little pathway to sit on this nice little bench by the cherry tree. And yeah, I think it just breaks up all of the green nicely on this level, and it's just kind of a special feature. Folks will probably find out at some point, but my siblings and I, so our mother passed away 7 or 8 years now from breast cancer, which was really hard and sad and you know, all of those things. But we're constantly trying to think of ways to honor her and remember her and think of her. And I'm sure it will come up we have a fairly morbid sense of humor when it comes to death in my family, which is just one of our ways of coping. So don't be too alarmed. This is just your warning that we might have some jokes and different things in the future. But one of my ideas, or my sister's idea, was to put our mom's grave, since we're burying bodies on this level anyways, is to put our mom's grave underneath this cherry tree. So I was thinking like, maybe here-ish. Let's see. Yeah, I think that works. So that would be, let's see. Let's put some coarse dirt around it. Oops. To break that up a little bit. Got a couple rooted, which is lighter, maybe too light. Okay. And then we'll have, let's see which way these leaves kind of fall. We'll add one of those, and then yeah, later I might come back through and do the whole kind of armor stand bit with the graves. But then my other idea, let's see, we'll add some stuff around it maybe. That's there. I mean, a little morbid, but bodies decompose. My thought then was to kind of have a headstone and let's see. Hold please. Okay, and we're back. That. Aw. Okay, so there's our mom's little grave. The morbid piece would be my brother logging on and then putting a skull here, which I can almost guarantee will happen. But yeah, I think this is nice. Oops. We love finding, yeah, just little ways to incorporate her into our Minecraft world. Since we're all on together, it's just really nice. So, all right. Aw. Okay, so that is our cherry tree, and that is our entire orchard level. Pretty much done. Yeah, some detail work, but I love it. I'm really happy with it. Aww. With our mama. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that's great. I think that's gonna do it for this episode. I appreciate everyone who's gotten to this point. I just want to say thank you for your patience. I had a hand injury, so that prevented me from playing and getting on for a couple of weeks. So thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep seeing the videos, and drop a like, drop a comment. I love reading everybody's comments. Oh, and a quick little shout out to Wow Moon Wow. I hear you on the generator. I'm very excited. Maybe you can kind of see down in the corner there. My brother and I have been trying to play with some ideas on how to make the generator really cool. So that is in the works, but that's gonna do it for this whole orchard level. I love how it turned out, and Until next time, here's some bloopers and behind the scenes. Okay, bye. Zach!
Radio station.
You have to make me do so much work in post editing. Does this look stupid? If I had them in the back wall.
Especially if there's 2 spots on top and only 1 on the bottom.
Oh my god, I thought I did that right. Zachary?
Little twigs.
Man, these lights take forever. Oh, it literally just turned right in front of me. Zach!
No. Breeze, man. Better than Dave, man. Breeze, man. The fighter of day, man. The savior of Philadelphia. I'm telling you, Mom.
Zach, kill my... I got some cute screenshots of you guys.
Oh, did you?
You're so mean. That's such intense youngest sibling energy, Maya. How do you live with yourself?
Killer.
Joyfully.
Hunt her down. Hunt her down. Make a grave, Summer. Make her dig her own grave.
Oh,
Yeah, you just now realize I'm the chasing you. Yeah, you're dead.